My name is Patricia Isis. I have my PhD in the expressive therapies with an emphasis on art therapy. I was fortunate enough to train at Lesley. Back in 1980, when I graduated, it was called Lesley College. So I studied all the modalities. I studied poetry, psychodrama, drama, dance therapy, music therapy, and I specialized in art therapy. In 1983, Janet Bush and I were talking about the fact that there was no state art therapy association, how badly it was needed. So together we created what was called then the Art Therapy Association of Florida. We met in the living room of Janet's house. It was Janet and I and some other folks you may recognize. Enid Garber was there, Marianne Hamilton. We brought together all these people who were interested in promoting art therapy statewide, and we created the organization. We incorporated, I wrote the Constitution, I was the president for the first 3 years of the organization. There was such a passion, such a drive to bring art therapy statewide throughout as much as we could. So it was a very exciting time. A lot of people came together through FATA. We had conferences every year, and they were very successful, huge. We'd have them on the beach. Our very first one, though, was in the basement of a church in a really little town in Florida, Auburndale. Florida is poised to make a splash with art therapy in the United States. We have a lot of people in our state. What's really important is for the Florida Art Therapy Association to make a major push to increase membership, to increase awareness, to open up art therapy to all the mental health professions, to open up ways of using art well in our move toward legislative acceptance, to be able to collect third-party payments, maybe one day have a license in Florida. Just speaking for Miami, and Miami's the biggest city in Florida, there are more positions that have opened more recently. There's 2 art therapists working in a psychiatric hospital here. That wasn't happening before. They actually are part of a larger department. The school system group is still intact. FSU is very solid. Every graduate of FSU gets a job in art therapy. That's part of what happens being in that program. It would be very important to create a training program down in the southern end of Florida. School art therapy is a very specialized area of practice, just like chemical dependency or eating disorders, or different psychiatric disorders. They all require different kinds of training. More of our national training programs may want to consider offering that as a separate specialty. We really need to be more business-minded and think in terms of how to raise funding, how to write grants, how to effectively use our time. With the kinds of grants that we can write, with research to back us, with more publications, with a stronger state association, with more training programs, we will meet our goal of becoming more of a mainstream profession with many more job opportunities and much more of an appreciation by the general public. What we have to offer is so valuable. There's no time like the present. And I feel a personal responsibility to promoting this profession, to make it solid,